Welcome back, everyone, to an episode of Wild Magic. This one is a little bit different because we are going to release this for everybody to get a taste of what the magic is all about. For those of you who don't know, Wild Magic is our little extra bonus episode each month that we release on our Patreon, which you can join either for free or for a pay what you want tier. Head on over. It's patreon.com/tabletopped. But I'm here joined by two great friends of mine. Maybe you know them from listening to the podcast in the past. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
It's me, your boy Rio.
It's me, Franco.
And we're all here. End of the year. Guys, we did it. We made it through 2024.
Woo!
We didn't.
Not yet. Not yet. But we are so close that I am willing to tiptoe past the graveyard in this case.
I've got to fight a bear. I said last year, January 1st, 1 a.m., that 2024 is going to be the year that I fought a bear. Oh. And I might not make it to 2025. I still haven't fought a bear yet. So,
well, just get down to P-Town. There's still time.
That's so correct.
Yeah, so
narrowcasting.
What are people doing for with this final few weeks of the year? Does anyone have any either big plans or goals or games planned?
Depression napping.
Cool.
Existential dread.
Yeah.
I bought presents for people. I'm really excited to see them open it and smile and tell me that they love me.
Hell yeah.
What if they don't like them?
Then I will fucking burn the house that I'm in down.
How do you both feel about presents as a general rule?
Positively.
Franco?
They kind of stress me out a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Wrong, both of you. Okay. Presents are a source of joy where you just tell someone that you love, but hey, I saw this thing, it made me think of you, and I bought it for you, so now you have the treasure.
That's not usually how presents work. Usually it is an arbitrary date, and then
yes,
you are told you must purchase a present for this person now. Yeah, and that is how it feels to me. I don't always like getting presents too, because then I always feel bad if I'm like, oh, what if I don't like it enough, and then I feel too disappointed. So I don't have a good strategy yet for it, and it's this kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that is not so painful in my life that I need one. Does that make sense?
It's presents. You don't need a strategy. You don't need a philosophy about it. Just buy present, be happy.
I think I think I have to take Franco's side on this. I enjoy giving presents
to the death.
What about, Rio, how about this? How do you feel when you receive presents? Because giving presents, I will agree with you. I enjoy just oh, hey, I was thinking about you. I bought you this candy bar or whatever.
That's great. I like getting presents. I like getting a present for somebody when I think oh, I think this person would like this, and then randomly getting them a present. That's totally fine. I don't mind that. I think it is difficult for me to get people stuff. I get Rebecca gifts throughout the year sometimes, and and then when it comes to Christmas time or her birthday, I'm always oh, what do I do?
I feel the exact same way. Yeah. Literally, it's
you literally know that it's coming. You have a whole year to buy little trinkets and save up for the day.
Yeah, yes, but if I think of it and buy it, I don't like to wait, because then I'm why am I waiting to give you this? This is so arbitrary.
I agree with that, and I also think that the thing is that there's so much pressure to guess what the person wants, and especially on an arbitrary date like Christmas or the birthday.
That is not how you do presents. You don't guess what they want. You give them what makes you think of them and brings you joy.
Yeah, but okay, so you're saying that you are both giving presents to receive self-satisfaction and receiving presents to receive self-satisfaction.
No, you give presents to show that you love people. God damn it. Why are you like this?
Let me check something. Franco, how do you feel? What is better? A random birthday, Christmas gift or whatever on Christmas or on your birthday, so I'm putting in that arbitrary date. Or just Rebecca, your lovely wife, coming up to you and saying, hey, there's this thing that I know that you were trying to do. Maybe, let's say something simple. There was some sort of shopping you had to do, but it was specific and you were dreading it. And she went and just did it for you and then came back and said like, hey, I wanted to help you out and I did this thing for you. For me, that's way better than a present. I'm like, wow, you did so. You
this narrative is relationship based. When just single people get random presents.
Yeah. Thank you, Rio. Listen, the situation that you've just described can never happen because Rebecca is constantly in fear of not being able to get me something as a surprise because I am constantly just buying myself stuff all the time.
Yes.
She's like, oh, it's impossible to buy stuff for you because you always just, if you're like, oh, I think I want this. And she's like, oh, I should get that for him. And then click buy.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that way too.
Yeah.
It actually has helped this holiday season that I am jobless and so have not been buying things for myself. I think it's made Alice's life a lot easier when it comes to the Christmas time hassle.
But yeah, Rio, you're right. Nick is marriage pilled.
Yeah.
So I think you're totally right about that, Rio. I completely agree.
Wait, what does marriage pilled mean in this sense? I am not married.
Well, you can only. Well, I mean, like if you're in a relationship, you're basically married, right? Like it doesn't. Like and everybody's like, oh yeah, let's propose and whatever. Like if you live with your partner, you're married. Like I'm sorry, like you fucked up. If you didn't think that's what was happening, yeah, and then you're like, oh, we have to break up now. We have to split up our stuff. Like that's a divorce. That's how divorces work, and it's contentious because you don't have a legally binding agreement. So, yeah. Listen,
Merry holidays, everybody.
My friend of the pod, Mac, who you'll probably be hearing or have heard from very soon, either in January or December. He has this really firm opinion, and I think that I agree with it. I think it's like the next generation of sort of cultural mores around weddings and stuff.
Every word that you said has got me ready to fight. Let's just go.
He was like, yeah, because him and his fiance are getting married this summer. And he was like, yeah, Liz and I, we're going to get a prenup so that we can make all these decisions when we have the best emotional connection and we care about each other at the peak, so that if we do get a divorce or whatever, it's already decided. It's not going to be contentious because it's already been legally done. And I think
take back my wanting to fight. That seems fair.
I think that feels like a good idea.
So your controversial opinion is that prenups are becoming more popular and less controversial?
Well, my controversial opinion is that I think
can't wait for this.
A lot of people think that. No, I mean, I've already said it. I'm just re-saying it in a different way. Like, I sort of feel it.
You could just say yes. You don't have to restate it. You could just say, yes, correct, Franco. That is what I meant. Great. Thank you. No, keep going.
No,
we have to fill out the 30 minutes.
I think more. We got to make that content. Yeah,
Push
I feel as though like the previous generations were like, that's so unromantic. That's so like, ooh, how gross is that someone's trying to get what they can from you before you get married.
What? And I think that's not how prenups work.
Then half of them got fucked over because half of marriages fail. So
yeah, I just feel like if like, imagine going to your parents and saying, do you think it would be a good idea to get a prenup before getting married?
Okay, so a couple of things that you said.
Yeah.
Marriage. So you just said marriages end in failure, right? What is failure, right? Like, what is a marriage for? If the marriage was good while it happened. No, that's what Rio said. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah, sometimes I say words too, Nicholas.
For some reason, I heard my name. I'm tapping out. All right, you guys go.
Yeah, this is just going to be a me and Rio. I don't know why we're coming at you so hard this episode.
I'm not taking my mood stabilizers for like a solid week, so I'm just.
And I stopped taking them.
I'm raw dog in reality.
They don't know what I have anymore. They're confused.
We're all at our best mental states for this.
Literally, Alice went away for a weekend last weekend, and I was like, why am I feeling so bad? When it was Monday, I was like, I feel so unstable mentally. And I was like, oh, I just stopped taking care of myself, but also stopped taking any of my medication. Oh. And so I was like, oh, fuck. And so I started up again. I feel great now.
How did you stop? Why did you stop taking your medication? Is everything okay?
Because I have this horrible. Rio, you're gonna so agree with me here. I think, as somebody with some sort of undiagnosed ADD or ADHD or something, if I don't see something, the fact that it exists disappears from my brain pretty quickly.
Oh, that's the exact same reason why I stopped taking my medicine.
Yes, it's because I had gone on a trip.
The structure of my day went away. And the time where I take my pills no longer happens at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
like,
Nick, that was over the weekend. Nothing was happening anyway.
yeah, but I had gone on like a trip or something. I forget where it was, just like a day trip or something. And I brought my medication so I could take it. And it was in my backpack, not on my bedside table when I woke up, which is the first thing I see.
That makes sense.
That therefore forgot for like 4 days.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway, you guys
out of sight, out of mind.
are going to fight now, right?
Nick, I would love to introduce you to a great application on the phone called Due, D-U-E. This is the 4th time I've told you about this. And it is a reminder app that is persistent. And so when you
much like Franco with his telling you about Due, the reminder app.
Literally, I've just pulled it up on my screen here. I'm reading about it. Looks great. I'm going to download it while you guys fight about prenups.
Yeah, Nicholas, how many times does a person have to tell you about an app on your phone or the computer before you remember to go and log in and add it to your life? I mean, for real, Nicholas.
Yeah, this is a real question. I assume Rio's being funny here because Rio is constantly not taking people's like leaving tabs open with people's suggestions and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I have something to blast Rio for.
I thought you might.
but let's talk quickly, Franco. What was your question? And then I'm just going to absolutely destroy Rio because he was so frustrating.
Okay, Nick, you can tune out. Download this app because I need you to stop living your life like this. I got Rebecca to use this app as well because she is also an ADHD friend. Friend of what's a I'm an ADHD ally. Everybody in my life has ADHD.
An ADHDA.
Are you allowed to be talking to us right now, Nick?
Nope, sorry, I'm back.
I swear we're friends. I think maybe I gotta tell you, I think I came into this a little hot. I was like, I had just finished eating lunch and I got on my computer and I was like, I don't want to use this computer. I want to use the other computer because the headphones didn't reach my laptop. So I was like, okay, I'm going to switch to my other computer. And so I got annoyed about that because I had to boot up a separate computer.
Franco, I have to decide which one of my mini computers I want to use to record my podcast.
If it makes you all feel better, my rich brother got me this computer. So I didn't buy it myself. So it doesn't count.
Are you going to blast Rio or not? Am I back in?
No, I was just saying, I think that people, think of like divorce as being a failure. I think I've talked about this before. Oh, you can click open on it.
Yeah, I just got it. It's for the audience. $8, pretty steep for an app.
Yeah, that's the app. Oh, I didn't know it was $8.
$7.99.
Hey, I got to tell you, there is a subscription model as well. And I think maybe this like pay it. Oh, you know what? It is paid. It's a really good app. I don't know. I bought this when it was like $4.99 like 10 years ago.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, I would way prefer to pay once for an app than have to pay like, $10 a month or something. So
our 99 cents a month is just also outrageous.
Yeah, it's gruesome. I think it's a great app. The sort of killer feature about it is that if you swipe away the notification, it will persistently remind you every 5 minutes.
Nice.
Ooh, wow.
And then you can also postpone it and stuff like that.
I would throw my phone into oncoming traffic.
Or you could take your medication.
Yeah, or that could work.
All right, so I just downloaded it. I'm still going to be quiet, but I'm waiting for you to take Rio downtown.
No, you're taking me down. You were blasting me. Franco was just talking about something else.
Yeah, I was talking about something totally different. I think we've talked about this before, but I think divorce is great because it gets people out of situations that they shouldn't really be in, right?
Oh, speaking of, my one of my 2025 goals is to get all of my friends divorced because I'm tired of being the only single friend. So get ready, everyone. I am coming for your love and romance. Nice. 2025. Okay. Everything dies.
Great.
All right, time for me to blast Rio. Rio, get ready. I'm about to hit you where it hurts.
Right in the face.
So, Franco, as you know, we do that music league. Rio, we finished our league. I made the new one, kind of gathered everyone's new categories. And then Rio, and I said it so that as soon as everybody either votes or submits a song, the round ends, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, cool. I'll set this first one to be 4 days that doesn't end early so that everyone can get in and do this first round. And so I was like, knowing Rio, my dear boy, I was like, I'll probably have to let him know. So I sent you a Discord message saying, hey, gonna join the new music app? And you said, what? And I was like, the music app, I made a new league. And then you said, oh, I already did. And I was looking at the music league and I saw that you had not joined. And I said, sent you a picture of this and said, no, you haven't. Are you going to join? No worries if not. And then you said, oh, I thought that I was Shade because you both have a username that starts with a K. And you're like, I forgot that I changed that for this music league. And I was like, no worries. And then you were like, yeah. 2 days later, I look, you still haven't joined the league. And so I send you another thing saying like, hey, still not gonna, kind of get a little frustrated. And you're like, yeah, I'll set a reminder to. And guess what, dear listener? 3 days after that, today, he is still not part of this fucking music league.
Yeah. I forgot to set that reminder, bro.
It is literally, you got the... It drives me insane. So honestly, Rio, you can join whenever you want. Don't feel it. I'm just not gonna let you know anymore. Or else I will be driven to murder. Yeah, so do you guys do resolutions? I know Rio does like a lot of resolutions, but Franco, you do like the 12-week year thing, or do you not do any resolutions?
I fluctuate because of my mercurial nature. Yeah. That was misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder. Does that make sense?
I think so. I don't really know what mercurial nature is. Is that like is that diagnosis or is that just like a general adjective?
That is yeah, it's kind of like I have a sort of I change my mind all the time. And stuff like that. So yeah, no, I think that year-long resolutions are pointless. Sorry, Rio. Because you can't think that far, and that the 12-week year thing that we have all been kind of doing, and also me sporadically doing, I have also fallen off on that. I think that is better because then you can just kind of break your year up into chunks, you know?
I've been doing the 12-week year for like the past year, so I gave up my... Mm-hmm. Oh, here's backstory for the reader. So in 20...
Yeah, this is insane. Rio, can you tell us your system that you used to do?
So, used to do, or the current one, because they're both insane, right?
Well, yeah, but the old one was way more insane.
in 2022, I created 2022s for 2022, in which I made 20 lists of 22 items to accomplish in the year of 2022. Because I just like saying the number 2 a lot, and I had an opportunity.
How did we not know?
Like 400 something tasks.
It was 440 tasks to accomplish.
You would have to do multiple tasks per day for.
It was like an average of 3.5, I think, a day to get it done. And I got I did not accomplish the 2022s.
I forgot about the 2022s.
So when we got to 2023, I was like, oh, I'll just do 23 for me, and I made.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I made one list of 23 items to accomplish. We really pruned it back in the year of our Lord 2023. Our Lord being Arby's. And then I did not accomplish all 23 of my goals. So then we got to Prism 24. Which was this year.
Started with a PowerPoint presentation on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so I did a PowerPoint presentation of my 4 burners for the year 2024, and then a daily goals to accomplish, weekly goals, and then quarter goals. All of them giving me experience points because I'm a huge nerd. And then every 12 weeks, I changed the game I was playing. In the first quarter, I forgot immediately and didn't do anything. In the second quarter, I played a card game where every week I would draw a number of cards equal to the number of experience points that I won.
So you,
and fight my inner demons.
Yeah, I think you're kind of obfuscating exactly what you did. You invented a card game.
Oh yeah, I invented the card game.
You invented a TTG.
I invented the TTG while also inventing the rules of how to make experience points in which to gain new cards for the TTG.
Yeah, I love how
developing.
most people are like, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. Rio is like, I'm going to invent a game and manually play it without any sort of software each week based on what I do, which I also have to invent.
Yeah, he designs like new cards every week. He'll make
cool.
with like monsters on it and stuff like that. And
honestly, Rio, out of everything I've seen you do when it comes to projects, I feel like this one's the closest to being monetizable. I feel like if you get like a software engineer to make an app where this is like how the app works and it's the game in the app, I feel like you would make $100 million.
$100.
Well, we gotta find an app developer to get in here. But yeah, so the card game became a JRPG, and then JRPG became a mouse watch game where the characters became mice, and the cards got put into categories. And now every time I level up, I randomly draw a card from one of the 5 decks. And then I put one of those cards on the mice, and then the mice, those cards level up the more times you get the same card.
Do you get a card based on the types of things that you accomplish that week?
No, the cards are drawn at random. But what
about my idea?
that would be good. But then I feel like, I want a physical card, so I gotta make it. The goal is to not try to force yourself to do specific things, but to just like keep it generic.
Right.
So the more things you do, the more cards you draw.
Maybe the hardest things to accomplish are the things that are the most powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's sit down. Let's workshop this. Let's do an episode next year where we really get into the design of because next year's Ascension 25, where
Rio is turning 25.
Yeah, I'll be 25.
He was born in 2000.
But each stage of the cult, each stage of the game is going to be making a new wing of a cult as we progress through the 12 weeks of the next year.
I'm just like, it makes me very impressed that you put so much effort into the design of your self-improvement goals. I literally, the way that I sort of go about it is that I don't pick specific things. I'm just like, I would like to be more involved with improv or something this year. And then I put energy towards that throughout the year. Or I'll be like, I want to...
bro.
Not really, because it's like, what does being involved with improv mean? It could be taking classes. It could be doing more shows. It could be making more groups.
But it's a specific, like you focused in.
For me, the thing is that I am so very hard on myself. Like I am constantly beating myself up for perceived slights to my own success. And so like, I feel like I'm a pretty neutral arbitrator where I'm like, was I more involved with improv last year? Like for this year, I was like, I want to do more film stuff. And I did a TV show and I did a couple of other small projects. And so I'm like, yeah, that's technically better.
I heard a quote that I'm attributing to Ariana Grande that I'm really...
I'm going to fuck this SpongeBob guy.
Hey, is SpongeBob hot, guys?
Yeah, I thought he was hot, but I have a thing for gingers.
It's definitely Rio's type.
Like any ginger starts on a 6 for me. Like if you have a 10 scale. Like
Rio, I think you and Ariana Grande have the same taste in men.
Yeah, probably. Me and Ariana would be fighting. Well, no, because she'd be into straight men, and I would be into homosexual men, so we'd have different pools there.
That's true.
Bisexual man would really throw us into a frenzy.
That's true. That would really ruin your friendship.
Yeah, me and Ariana Grande are definitely dating the same pool of men. Well, I'm not dating any men because all of my flaws. What were we talking about? Oh, my quote from Ariana Grande was, "If you're only conscious of your flaws, you're not self-aware, you're just mean to yourself." So Nicholas, you gotta, every time you're like, oh, I'm mean to myself, you gotta stop and go, okay, what am I good at?
Yeah.
I want you.
As my therapist would say,
I want you to be a compliment sandwich to yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm a chicken salad compliment sandwich. No, but my therapist would always say, compare and despair. So I think that is true because I can compare myself to be like, you know,
that's not an instruction, right?
I love that. Honestly, my next big bad evil guy is going to be like, compare and despair.
Compare yourself to me, motherfucker, and despair.
Oh, I had a great quote come to my head about 3:00 in the morning today. And it was, hope is a lot like worry. Both make you suffer twice. And I think that's the energy I'm taking into 2025 as well.
Yeah. I think that for me, I am very hard on myself. I think that as I get older, though, I have become less prone to comparing, like setting success goals based on the people around me, because I'm like, nobody fucking knows what they're doing. So
that's because as you get older, there are less people around you.
That's probably true, honestly.
Yeah.
What would be your one big thing if you could go back to college with your current mindset and experiences or whatever? What would be the one big thing you would change? And I'm not talking about like, oh, I would get this major and get this job. I would buy this cryptocurrency. It's more like, what sort of general vibe would you try to bring into that?
I would have been a huge slut.
I would have just been on my anti-anxiety medicine from the word go.
Yeah.
I would have had, anti-anxiety and my ADHD meds, so that I could have actually have done classes.
If anybody's answer, unless you're like, you know, you just, it's like not for you or whatever, you're like asexual or something. If anybody's answer isn't that, I kind of don't believe them. Do you know what I mean? Isn't the thing that I said.
The thing for me, if I could take one thing going back, I think that the way that school is structured is so results oriented. I don't think that results actually matter at all, especially in school. It's mostly like, how involved were you with different things? Like, get super involved and chase like interests and passions and like learn your own stuff. Network. And do stuff even though you don't know how to do it. I feel like that is the only, like, all of the good things in my life have come out of that impulse of just let's just fucking do it.
Did I tell you my fun fact about the public education system?
No. Tell me your fun fact.
So the public education system was designed at the same time in the American history that everyone assumed that we would be in factories for the rest of our lives. So schools were designed to get children ready to be in a factory.
Shift work.
Shift work. But then as we moved away from factory life and everything went overseas, we never updated how we educate the youth. Mm-hmm. So the whole learn this material, regurgitate it, stay in place, be quiet, be in this room, follow instructions. Never updated after we moved away from getting people prepared to be in a factory where you're supposed to sit in place, do this task, regurgitate information.
I also think that we're
so everything's doomed to fail.
Yeah, we're coming up to another breaking point in the education system too, with like AI and all this shit. Like the way we teach isn't going to work anymore. And also the skills that we value are going to move from, are you able to do this really specific knowledge task? And it's going to be like more personal skills and, you know, coalition building and all that kind of thing, because everything else is going to be able to be looked up in a second on some sort of large language model, which is super depressing, but at the same time.
Yeah, we're actually losing our ability to have like long-term memory because of how easy it is to just look up information.
That's why everybody, I believe, should keep a daily diary. And they did this experiment with nuns in a convent, and they would have half of the nuns record every day of their lives, and then half of them didn't. And the ones that were recording every day of their lives more frequently were much less likely to have dementia or like memory loss and stuff like that. Yeah, and like develop Alzheimer's and stuff.
Do you guys want to do that just for like till next Wild Magic and see if it has any sort of effect on us? Just try.
I already do that.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think he was suggesting this out of the blue for no reason.
Rio, do you want to do it?
Yeah, I think you guys should do it.
I'll try, but as you are well aware, new habits are sort of a bad area for me.
Sure.
I'll make the effort. I'll give it a good faith cause.
That's fine. Sorry, it's not exactly right, but I can't think of what the right expression is.
Yeah, me neither.
I think the only word that was wrong was cause. I think that you're just saying I will do this in good faith.
Effort.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and I would recommend if you're first starting with this, like, don't go into your emotions or anything like that. Just like, don't go like deep into it. Like, don't think of it as like a reflection journal. Just think of it as like, I am dispassionately trying to remember exactly everything that happened. Like the objective is to remember things.
Yeah.
And to be able to track your day. And usually I'll go out of order just because like things will come up. And I think the idea is to activate your memory to be like, what did I do? And then like, okay. And then you like kind of try to go back down those hallways of your memory.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to try to do this because if nothing else, I find that old journals and shit are like great material to return to and then use for artistic projects.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah.
Right. 2025 Ascension daily task journal.
There you go.
Journal.
Maybe, Rio, would it help you to have like a pillowcase or something that just had like a task on it that you have to do daily so that every time you come into your room, you see this pillow with words on it that say like write in your journal or something?
I would throw that pillow in the closet as soon as it frustrated me.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is also how I work. I did something this year.
What did you do this year, bud?
I have been sober all year.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's been great, and I'm gonna keep doing it probably. So I love it.
Our sober friend.
And it's not like I don't struggle with addiction or anything like that, so I don't want to make it sound like that. But yeah, I just, I was like, well, it was like I was doing medication for a while, and they were like, don't, whatever. And then anytime I would get drunk, I would just be like, actually, I don't think I like this anymore. And then I haven't smoked weed in like years. It's always not agreed with me. It always just gives me like paranoid feelings and like my skin crawling and stuff like that. It can be really uncomfortable. Like, even though like sometimes it's funny or fun or whatever, like it would just mostly be uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like I'm moving in that direction too. I have been basically, I have reduced the amount that I drink because I never was a real drinker because I just don't like the taste of alcohol very much. And so I've been really reducing that. And I really only have like a beer, like maybe once a month or something. Yeah. And so maybe I'll like go completely off everything next year just because I don't value it. It's more like edibles and stuff that, because like I said, I'm terrible to myself and my brain, and being able to completely just finally relax is like something that is a novelty to me still. But I feel like it's probably like, especially towards the end of this year, I was like, I shouldn't use this as a crutch to deal with emotional angst or whatever. Like moving in that direction with it too.
Yeah, I mean, it can be damaging because it's like a lot of behavioral things are just like neural patterns and pathways and stuff like that. Like that's what depression is, right? Like you're just constantly walking that same road in your brain, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's just like the easiest path. And so like when you're under like an intoxicant, like it can sort of like stop you from trying to learn new pathways, and you're just going like, okay, I'm just going to go straight to, the drug or the alcohol or whatever. Do you want to give us an update on Gossip Girls?
Yeah. You mean Gilmore Guys?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did.
We are at the final episode of the 4th season. We really slowed down because What We Do in the Shadows came back, and a couple other shows that we've been trying to get through to just finish out. But one of my friends was like, enjoy it. This is like a great episode, and then everything after this starts to go downhill. So part of me is like a little anxious to start into the 5th season because it feels
maybe your friend's just an asshole.
Maybe. But I've heard that that's widely. Do you guys agree with that? Like, because people say that Gilmore Girls quality goes down after a certain time.
It does.
But like, what would be your timestamp there?
What is the timestamp that you're at now?
we have not started, but are about to start the final episode of season 4. So just about to, like, Rory's in Yale.
Okay.
Her dad just totally fucked over his business partner who she was dating. I forget what his name is.
Scooter.
Yeah. Is that it? Skinner? It's something like that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Digger. That's what it is.
Digger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I didn't really like him anyway, but it seems like he's kind of out now. So that's where we're at.
Okay. And then Lorelai was hooking up with him. What was happening?
They were fully had keys to each other's houses. Kind of.
Okay. Got it. That's the location that they were at that point. Okay. So they've been doing that. Richard screws him out of the company or something like that. Because Richard joins the other, like his dad's company.
Yeah. The Digger's dad, who fired Richard, hires him back to basically be a boutique consultancy within the bigger company as long as Digger gets cut out completely.
Yes.
Which is a crazy thing. Like, imagine being a parent and being like, yeah, I'll totally hire you back and kind of right this wrong as long as you totally screw my son's life up.
Right. And then what's Rory up to in Yale?
I think that she is...
Who's she dating?
A little bit of a no one, really.
Okay.
She's sort of been a dud. They just went to...
She's been a dud.
They just went to Florida for an episode, which was great. And we saw the Shins. There was like a 5 to 7 minute tracking shot of this band playing in a random club. And I was like, this band has to be someone that we would recognize at the time. And we looked it up and it was the Shins. And I was like, oh, okay. That's why they devoted so much time to this.
She goes to Florida with Paris?
Yep.
That's right. And they like get into like a van and they like go down to Daytona and they're partying and stuff.
Yeah, the spring break episode.
I think, is Dean texting her or something like that?
Yeah. Oh my God. So Dean got married, but now they're like talking a lot. And also Dean's wife is like, I don't want you talking to Rory.
Okay.
But they still are kind of talking.
Oh man. Wait, so your friend says the next season is bad?
The 5th season. She said that that's when everything starts going downhill. But she said that the end of the 4th season or 7? 7.
It was 7 seasons long.
Wait, so what season? Sorry, what season is this? Is 4th?
4th. Yep.
Okay, so
5, 6, and 7 left.
And she says that 5, 6, and 7 are the worst.
Well, she just said it's on a downward spiral from the 4th season. So I don't know if that means that the 4th is bad, but I think that she just said the quality just slowly decreases.
Are we counting a year in the life as a season or not?
I don't think so.
No, because there's a year in the life is like the 8th season kind of
the
thing.
8th season. Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on with Logan?
Have you met Logan yet?
Have you met Logan
again? Can you just
he's the blonde boy, the rich boy.
I haven't met him yet.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Wait, what?
Definitely not going downhill yet. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's kind of because Rio, if you remember what happens next, like with what he just said about all of this, I think that's one of the most interesting things that Rory does.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
As far as like a hijink, and then she hasn't even been like hanging out with Logan, and then that other thing that happens like at a certain point later on down the line. I think a lot of
season 5 is going to be a high point.
I think a lot of interesting things will happen.
Okay, because like what I've heard about the season 5 is like it starts downhill, and also Rory takes a huge step back as a character, is what I was told. Yeah,
if you're like a fucking like whatever, like, you know, I don't know. I think there's like a set of people in. I don't want to call it the Gilmore Girls fandom or whatever. Like a lot of people identify with Rory, right?
Yeah.
And why would you ever identify with the character, right? And that's a Socratic that's a Socratic question that my literary experiments professor asked us once, and it was really frustrating for everybody because it was like, I really identified with this person. It's like, why did you identify with them? Like, what? Like, why would you identify with them? And it's like, yeah, why are you like, I think all of the terrible things that Rory does is awesome. I think it's great. Like it's great. It's perfect. Like, I think it all works great. You know, Lorelai's a monster. Why wouldn't her daughter be a monster?
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm excited to keep going. I've been really enjoying the show. And I also have a complete, like, I feel like I have a slightly different view of Rory and Lorelai than the general public. I think that you guys probably also share this view. Like,
Yeah, because we're all poor boys.
Why do you feel like you're more special than everyone else in the world?
I included you, man. If you don't want to be special with me, that's fine. But because for me, everyone's like, oh, Rory, and they have a great relationship. She's so great. They're like, the life that they live is awesome.
No, it's
but
not.
Actually, for me, it's like Rory has never been able to make a decision for herself, even when you think about like the college acceptance stuff, like her deciding to go to Yale over Harvard once her grandparents got involved was less than an episode. It was like a 20-minute conversation. And the entirety of like the 2.5 seasons before that was just about her and how she wanted to go to Harvard so bad. And it's like, that actually says to me that this character doesn't have like an actual set of wants that she has that is detached from the expectations of her family. And like,
you're gonna love the next few seasons then.
Okay, I'm excited.
I think she makes a lot of interesting decisions. I forget. I do agree that the quality goes down, but I can't pinpoint exactly why. I feel like maybe it's just like a little bit more boring.
I think
that you run into a lot of late season repetitiveness.
Yeah,
the characters are because like with you guys don't surprise me anymore. Like I know Nick's gonna be Nick, Franco's gonna be Franco. Like if you were season 8, I'd be like, I'm ready for something new.
I need a new
But
character.
Since you're real life friends, it's like, oh no, I love them and I would be sad if they
okay, we're not characters on a TV show. It's kind of different.
But can we actually write that?
That's the point that I just made. Thank you for listening to me through the whole thought.
Yeah, but we all act in kind of way. I don't know, like the concept of acting out of character is only applicable to characters in fiction. It's not really, you know.
I really want to talk about this either on like a normal episode of Tabletopped or in our future Wild Magics, because I think that this is super interesting and I've never heard that before, Franco, of like, why would you ever identify with a character? But now I'm rock.
I've said it before on this podcast.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's so true. That's like really true.
Franco has shifted back around to contrarian.
Damn, we got to end this like soon because we're coming back around to angry.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just.
No, I'm not.
No, I didn't say I was angry. I just said a fact.
Everyone, thank you so much for being listeners this year. We are ending the year strong. We're so happy that you are all in this tabletop community. As you said, if you want to get in touch with us, you can go to the Patreon, patreon.com/tabletop, or you can go to our website, which is tabletopppod.com. We also have a YouTube account now, I guess, which is just all of the episodes there if you prefer to listen to it via web browser. And we have a bunch of shorts from the episodes coming out on the YouTube social media and such. So there you go. I hope everyone has a fantastic new year, and we will see you for the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.